What is going on, guys? Today we are going to be ranking every single icon striker in the game. So we have got literally everybody, and we are due to get some dynasty icons which will come out later on, but they should hopefully be pretty sick as well. So let's just get straight into it then. So we've got a lot of kind of mediocre fodder. I want to keep the S Plus as top tier as possible, and I think the easiest one straight off the bat is going to be Hullet. The argument that I've got is it's going to be very difficult because I do think when you've got the 91 and the 90, they both are practically the same sort of card, even though I do 100% recommend whacking him in more of a centre mid cam role and having a striker like an Mbappe with him. If you're getting somebody that's worth like 7.5 mil, naturally you're going to have quite a lot of coins, or you've just been very, very lucky on the packs. But they both are the same card, so they've both got to be in that absolute top tier. Then we move a bit further down. We'll kind of look at the Hernandez's, the kind of lower icons naturally, because they are almost just pack fillers now more than anything. And to be honest, not even that good of pack fillers, because naturally they aren't really worth anything. And if we go to the kind of icon list and go to attackers, the lowest of the attackers are currently coming in. How much are they coming in at? I think it was like 60,000 or something like that. It's literally not worth nothing. So you got Suker, Kluivert, Trezeguet, Hernandez, Rush, Shearer, Larson Crespo, and Ian Wright, as well as a base Robert Pires at 70 to 65,000 coins each. It's pretty self-explanatory that these are always going to be the low of the low. If I can find them all on this first bit of the list, would be absolutely perfect, but they are naturally just not worth anything, unfortunately. So if we can find every single one. Pires, to be honest, the worst thing is I do actually like Pires slightly, so we'll have more on him. If I look for kind of the lowest of the low of what we're kind of trying to go for here, Suker I'm going to keep there for a moment. Trezeguet can definitely go, even his Centurions, to be honest. Unfortunately, Trezeguet, it's not the lengthy meta at the minute, so he really isn't kind of going to be there. Prince can join that list as well, to be honest. And then I think we got everybody. I'm pretty sure that would be everybody that we've kind of got on that really low list. In terms of kind of the difference, the one thing that I like about Suker, and it's why I'd put him as more of a B, is that you have at least got a different sort of playstyle plus that can be not necessarily not abused as such. Where is he gone? I've lost him completely. Where there he is. It's not necessarily abusable beyond all belief, but it's definitely better than having an acrobatic, a power header, a first touch, and that is the Travella. The finesse shot plus is unfortunately completely broken. Sometimes you can get the finesse goals, but most definitely not as much as you could do. So that has been completely reduced. The Travella at the moment, even though it wasn't quite as broken as the finesse, is still going to give him an edge over pretty much most of these. If you can get him in that role of a striker to get into that Travella, he's going to have a better shot of it. We then move up. We'll kind of keep it going up and down a little bit. I might have to move it out a little bit because there is a lot of icons to go with here. See if we can move that perfectly. So next on the list is going to be someone like Cruyff. And in fact, whilst he's here, R9 is just number one. Like, him and Ham together are absolutely monstrous price. I can't even find Ham. But both of them as a 5/5 are just filthy. They together, if you had both of them as a striker, mixing an Mbappe, your strikers are literally done for the rest of the year. Cruyff, on the other hand, is exactly the same. I think for me, he is easily the best sort of centre forward striker that you can get as well. A 5/5, natural ability, shooting, pace, dribbling, the whole shebang in Cruyff. He again is another top tier icon. If then we kind of, like I say, try and mix it down, I think Eto'o, phenomenal player with quick step. I've always said with Eto'o, he's not necessarily in the R9, Hullet, Matthias sort of gang where everybody wants that card, but you'd never be disappointed with an Eto'o. Even when he had a base mid prime, any version of him was absolutely phenomenal. We also do have Henry. Now, Henry, I do love his normal card. I think his gold card, his gold card a few years ago, yeah, but his icon card now has definitely been fixed. So instead of kind of being that really high A+ sort of vibe, he is definitely in that S 100% of the time. He has got a 92 as well, which I believe still can become a 93 in one more win, I think. So it does mean that he could go to 93. And in terms of kind of stat increase, unfortunately it is still a 4-4. So it would have to be based more on if he gets the upgrade. If he gets the upgrade, he's easily in that S+. For now, as just a 1 upgrade, I feel like he would still kind of just be in that S. Kind of similar to Eusebio. Now, Eusebio, if your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders. Is that sort of player that you either really love him or really don't? And I think there's very few that won't. Wow, the problem is putting him in the S+, it already means we've got so many cards in there, but he is endgame. Like, there's a reason why his Centurions and his base are still 3.8 and 2.9. So he's got to be. He's absolutely got to be. And I don't think, other than Ronaldinho, I'll go S and S+. I think that would kind of be okay, because if he does get that 95, that would be a phenomenal card as well. But both of them as well, I think that could be the only S+'s we've got left. If I'm looking at the rest, there's nobody else that really jumps out at me that's like, yes, that is 100% an S+. And I think the next big name that you'd probably see there is going to be Pushgas. Now, Pushgas definitely is a top tier icon, but in terms of kind of the stats, he's a 4-star, 3-star. Always loved his, well, last year, his FUT birthday, they got to a 5-5. That's a phenomenal card, but I don't think it can push into the S+ if we're trying to keep it as minimal as possible. Like, these are the best of the best. I think they're interchangeable to who you could actually want. And I think I'm being a bit harsh on Ronaldinho, but I would much rather have the 95, whether or if he gets there. We will have a look at that tracker to see if he's there. Whilst we're doing that, though, in terms of some other players that definitely make it into that S, I think Torres does still. He, again, is absolutely brilliant. Barcelona need to win both of their next matches. We have on the 10th and the 16th. So that's going to be a big one. We've got Girona and also Valencia that they need to win because they drew their first match. So that's a big ask for Ronaldinho. If he doesn't get it, I still think it could be there, but I would like the 95 realistically. We have Gerd Muller, again, another very, very good icon. Kind of just picking all the top ones here at this point, but I feel like a lot of these we have utilized and used. Muller still can have the evolution, and I can imagine he definitely will get there within too long, to be honest. He's got a base version at 577 and this 93 at 1.2. Again, he's a clear S category. I don't think there's any arguments there. Naturally, as we kind of go forward with the icons, though, he will naturally drop down, and I think his Thunderstruck might be able to hold a little bit of his own, but the normal base version will definitely start to drop down at some point. If then we're going for some more lower tier ones, I think Owen, probably more for pace alone, could go into a B category. Van Basten, I'm not a fan of, to be honest. He managed to sneak in there, to be fair to him. Hugo Sanchez, kind of a B sort of category again for me. If then we kind of take a look, Burkamp, he's fodder beyond belief. We then have someone like Lineker. It would be fodder, most definitely. I think he only has, he has Chip Shot as his Playstyle Plus. It's not going to be enough, unfortunately. Then, see, Nedved is a funny one because I always liked Nedved, but this year, I would definitely say Barnes is up in that category, whereas Nedved I'd say is lower. Normally Nedved is way above Barnes in the listing, and I'd even say Pires with his Thunderstruck has definitely gone up 1. I wouldn't say he's necessarily much better than his base, but it's definitely 1 out of the complete fodder category, and if he does manage to get the upgrade as well, that's even better for him. If then we keep scouring the list, we've got Beckham. See, Beckham's more of a centre mid. I probably should have just left him out of this list. I'd probably put him as a right mid in a B, maybe, and that's just to utilise kind of his passing / crossing ability. In terms of wing play, he's just not got the legs for it, unfortunately. If then we keep going, we've got Van Nistelrooy. Yeah, unfortunately doesn't work whatsoever. Van Persie, I'm actually a big fan of. Let me plop him there a second whilst I find him, because he's another card. He's currently coming in at 151. First touch on the Playstyle Plus, 4-4. You add the Hunter onto him, you end up with, what, 90-something pace, 94, 95 shooting. I mean, I'd probably say a high A. He's a decent card, especially for the rating, only being 88. Once he gets himself a special, that is going to be a very good upgraded striker we could talk about. Ribery, easy S at the very, very minimum. He is a 5-5. Again, cannot wait for the first dynamic of Ribery. That is going to be a phenomenal card. Same with Dalglish and Cantona. Both of them absolutely brilliant. Again, with Cantona, can get the upgrade, but I don't know how likely he will be, because he is obviously for Man U. Where is he on this list? We have got him at, yeah, so we need one more win against Bournemouth to get that 3 points, to get that one extra inform. I think that's doable. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because most definitely we know the form, but a 91 on Cantona wouldn't be a bad shout. I think Dalglish is pretty much there. I'm going to say I don't think Liverpool have dropped a beat since having him out, to be fair to him. So, yeah, they drew to Man City, beat Fulham, beat Sheffield, and then they've got Palace on the 9th to get his upgrade. As an SBC, that is a cracking card. Figo, on the other hand, he's Barcelona, so they've got to win their next 2 at a minimum. It's an interesting one, to be honest with him, because I would kind of go upgraded there and then A for the normal right wing. I think that would be my personal preference. Now, Raul, I've just closed my tab, even better. Raul is a card that everybody absolutely rates, and he has got the Finesse Plus. Now, for me, without that Finesse Plus, with the Finesse Plus, he's easily going in kind of the bottom tier of the S. I think without it, now it's broken. He's got to be an A. Looking at some of the wingers, then we have got Garrincha, Jarzinho, and I believe Best as well. All of them are obviously very, very good right mids. Again, with Jarzinho, I think he definitely comes out on top. The only one at the moment to have a special version as well, taking him to a 90 that can be a striker. But I do think all of them definitely have that S-level category, just hands down. We then have Del P and Zola, 2 very, very similar cards in terms of Italian icons. They've always been kind of back and forth. Del P always being that higher option, and Zola kind of coming in just that little bit under. Again, it is going to be a big loss for them with not having that Finesse Shot Plus as effective as what it was. But I still think in terms of stats, their dribbling is normally what takes them through. Pace-wise down the wing, kind of down the middle, you can always kind of expect them to pop up from anywhere. 2 Rooney's. Now, Rooney's never really, other than maybe the cover star, which was very good, but it was at the very end of the game, so we had very little time to actually play with him. We have the 89 and we have the 88. The 89's coming in at 646, the 88's coming in at 387. Again, we've got power shot, so Playstyle Plus is not really affected. And I think in terms of stats, looking at him, good pace, good shooting, dribbling's decent, physical's decent, and a bit of passing. I would suggest definitely going for the 88. The price difference does not make the cut, but the only problem with him is, and it's why he's going to stick in an A, is that he is only a 3-star, 4-star. Then we have the final card with 2 different specials in Smith. Very, very nice card, and I must admit, one of the better English icons you can actually get. Deadball Specialist on the Playstyle Plus, which again is something decent. At the very minimum, you get something different of a Playstyle Plus, and in terms of finishing, she is very, very nice. But I think if I was kind of looking between her and Rooney, I'd say they're very similar, minus kind of a bit more of that physicality, but both of them I'd say in the topper end of their A category. Stoichkov, I'd probably go with there as well. I think maybe a couple of weeks ago he could have been pushing for S, but I think now he's slowly coming down into that list and waiting for that next upgrade. Same with Drogba, very good at the kind of power aspect, and I think a lot of these lists will change depending on how you actually play the game, as Drogba is very much more powerhouse, whereas someone like Rooney is kind of toughy. Even though he is very strong and physical on the game, he's not necessarily going to get through as much as Drogba will. And then the final 2, we have Rivaldo, which unfortunately, like any other FIFA, is always let down because of that 2-star weak foot. It just is what it is. I think he's kind of a low A tier in my opinion, but once they get upgraded, like we saw with the foot birthday icons, that is where he kind of shines for me. And finally, Butragueno can sit into that S category. That is going to be everybody. Let me know down below what you think and who is your favourite icon strikers. Take care. Peace.